We're back with more shit. Where was I? There we are. We're back with more Reddit. Was I the asshole? Was I the asshole? Am I the asshole for having depression on my vacation? I'll tell you right now, having depression is not a crime. It just feels shitty. I, 22 female, just got home from a first time vacation with two of my best friends. For context, I'm diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and I'm very open about it. They know about my disorder to the full extent and have always supported me up until now. I'm medicated and can't increase my dose, and I go to therapy regularly. On day 2 of our vacation, I had a bipolar episode where my mind told me they hated me, as they didn't include me in some random conversation. This is one of my most frequent symptoms of a depressive episode, which they're also aware. I stormed out, but came back about 30 minutes later and apologized to them. They were a bit pissed, but I believed we were fine by then. However, my thoughts kept telling me they hated me, and I suppose they could still feel I wasn't feeling too well. We'll talk to them. Like a lot of these stories would like be resolved if you just have a conversation. Which I get when you have depression, it's like a haze over you. If you just have a conversation, or if you're used to if this is like a thing, well, I feel like it's both sides. If your two best friends know you have bipolar and they know that you tend to kind of hit and dip or whatever, I don't know what you would call it. If you have two best friends and they know you have bipolar disorder, then hopefully you have discussed it and talked about it. So they probably don't expect you to be like, I don't know, like good like all the time. But at the same time, if you have bipolar and they're your two best friends, why aren't you having like, because you didn't say they're friends, you said they're best friends. So if it's two best friends, why aren't you not having a conversation then? Because look, my mind told me da 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 da, as they didn't include me on a random conversation. This is one of my most frequent symptoms. So if you literally felt it coming on, then give them the heads up. The minute you like your mind was going crazy, right? You're like shit. The minute you recognize that this is a frequent symptom of one of your episodes starting, say something, even or talk to your best friends and come up with a signal. Like, oh no, I'm going ghost. I'm going Hulk. Like, I gotta go be by myself. Do like a sign with your fingers or something. Like blink once for I'm good. Blink 4 times for I'm tweaking, dog. Bipolar got me tweaking. Blink 4 times for I'm tweaking. Like if you're not just friends, it says best friends. So if you can recognize when an episode is coming on and they recognize that you have bipolar, do like a little secret handshake that says that you are tweaking. What is going on? Show me. However, my thoughts kept telling me they hated me, and I suppose they could still feel I wasn't feeling too well. One of them got really mad at me, which I didn't know at the time, but I could just feel it. Spoke over me and had an attitude the whole time towards me, which probably worsened my condition, while the other friend acted somewhat normal. I switched between staying in my room on my own to not disturb them with my depression, and being with them to not be overdramatic, but I felt like no matter what I did, I still annoyed them. Just have a conversation, because people with depression, like, you gotta have empathy and compassion, and then when you have depression, it's like the remedy changes depending on where you're at in your depression. Sometimes the remedy is being by yourself and like reflecting, because surprisingly, you want to know the crazy part? A lot of depression in a lot of people, and I'm not trying to diagnose anybody, you gotta figure this out, like ADHD, because a lot of times I thought my depression was flaring up. It was my ADHD and autism flaring up. And it was not actually depression, it was overload, sensory overload. Like sounds, like I remember I had to, just the rustling of covers, of like my own covers would make my teeth hurt. Like I would, and then like feeling too hot or too cold. And then sometimes when I have my clothes on, my clothes would start feeling tight. And I just feel like I want to bite somebody. I'm like, I want to die and I want to bite somebody. I want to die and I want to bite somebody. I want to die and I want to bite. It's like not even a specific person. You just want to like bite and die. You want to like turn into like a bunch of slime and die. And I'm like, I got depression and I'm about to commit. Half the time that's all like autistic overload. It's like a combination of like burnout from life itself, autistic overload, and probably like a dopamine issue. You know what I mean? And so sometimes, that's why I say sometimes the remedy is to isolate, because it's, and not even play music. Like sometimes it's play music helps, but sometimes it's don't play any music. Just sit down, meditate, don't eat anything. I'm not talking about for extended amounts of time. Don't starve yourself, but I'm like for like 30 minutes, you know, because sometimes, you know, when you freak out, you're like, I need a treat to calm myself down. Like maybe have you a sip of water for like 30 minutes, just sit down. Regulate your nervous system. Get some real cold water, splash it on your face. Regulate your nervous system. Turn on the shower real cold and hop in that bitch. When you're feeling like overwhelmed or like real hurt or real sad, let some cold water fix you. I'm for real. That cold water will get you right. Cold water gets you right. And if you got titties, if you're a person with titties, splash some cold water onto your titties. I'm being dead ass. So it's just like sometimes a remedy for when you feel overwhelmed and angry and you can't, and you're just like, sometimes the remedy is to be by yourself. But sometimes the remedy is just to communicate. Because if they're not just your friends, they're your best friends, and there's two of them, you're like, oh, I feel an episode coming on. Do a secret handshake. Do a little blink. One time for I'm good. 4 blinks for I'm tweaking. 4 blinks for I'm tweaking. Give me a stem, like get you a stem toy. Get you like one of them toys that you fidget with. Get you a stem toy. Like you need you something. Damn, you need you something. Cause this shit, you know, shit. On day 4, I wrote an apology message to them in our group chat. Long message short, I told them I know I'm not easy to be around, but I hope that they know I'm doing my best and that I'm sorry this had to happen right now. However, they completely ignored my message. Because listen, I'm gonna be real. If you like did all that other shit in person, you should probably apologize in person. I don't know. I'm just gonna, you know. I spoke to them on day 5 and they said they've had enough and felt like they had taken my mental health so much into consideration and demanding I stop being depressed. Now I'm gonna be real. I was with them up until they demanded you stop being depressed. You can't really demand someone stop being disabled. Do not be disabled. Like you can't really shit, I'm out the wheelchair, god damn it, I'm dancing now, I'm out the wheelchair. Like that's not how that in the name of Jesus, stop being depressed. Like that don't really fix the shit. You gotta get your chemicals right, baby girl. Who's telling this story? Oh, ain't no name. Yeah, ain't no names on these. Baby girl, you gotta get your chemicals right. Get your chemicals right, baby girl. Get you drink you some water. Get you a little secret hand signal. You gotta get your chemicals right, baby girl. But them demanding you stop being depressed. I'm not even gonna say it's cruel. I'm saying it's impossible. Not impossible. Stop. It's not impossible for you to be not depressed. It's impossible for a third party looking at someone going, in the name of Jesus, stop being depressed, for you to just stop being depressed. As bipolar, I have a hard time understanding and reacting to a situation right away. So I'd rather say sorry too much than sorry too little. So I apologize for everything deeply for hours and said I would stop being depressed. Well, don't make promises you can't keep. Don't say I'm gonna stop being depressed, because it's like, and if you don't, then what? You know, or if you don't do it fast enough, then what? They didn't want to forgive me though, which was really hard, as I'm not sure what I could have done more. I mean, not a few days later, I feel torn. I know they didn't plan to go on vacation with someone who's depressed. What do you mean they didn't plan to go on vacation with someone who's depressed? If they're your friend, again, best friend, not friend, so best friend. So I'm assuming that you guys are pretty fucking close if you're willing to say best friend. What do you mean they didn't plan? If they plan to go on vacation with you, then they plan to go with someone who's depressed. But at the same time, y'all should have came up with like a secret, like wink or something, like, you know, hey, I'm at the, you know, we at the table, we at the cruise, like enjoying mimosas and shit. But when I feel like an episode coming on, I kind of flop my left titty on the table. When you hear that thunk and all the silverware shake, you kind of know I'm about to start tweaking. So I got to head back to the cabin. You know what I mean? Like, y'all need to come up with like a, I'm wearing a wig when we on a safari, right? We on a safari. Me and the besties, we on a fucking safari. And a lion and like zebras walk by, but I feel like an episode coming on. So I grab the tip of my wig and I yank that bitch. And when my wig go cockeyed just a little bit, that's when all my bitches know that I'm finna start tweaking. So I gotta hurry up and go somewhere. Like, y'all need to come up, like, ain't nobody said you had to become undepressed overnight. You need to come up with like a secret wink. You know what I mean? You wearing like a nice lipstick, like a coral blue number 25 or whatever. And y'all having bottomless mimosa brunch. Y'all having a bottomless, y'all real cute, ooh, dressed up, ooh, jury, and the little cute waiter walk by, let me refill, you want more bacon on the side, baby girl, he come by, and you feel an episode coming on, you feel like you finna start tweaking, so you reach your fist up and you smudge that lipstick, you smudge that coral blue 25. And now the whole party know you finna start tweaking. They say, oh, this bitch got to get back in the car and take her some smelling salts. She finna start tweaking. So she gonna leave the table, go in the car real quick, hit some smelling salts, rub some Vicks Vapor Rub on her chest. She gonna take off her wig, because low key you probably just hot. She gonna take off that wig and that wig cap. She gonna scratch her head. She gonna give her scalp that good scratch she needed. She gonna re-moisturize her lips, Carmex. She gonna really, is the bra always too tight. The bra, that's usually it. Loosen up the bra. She gonna ask the restaurant before she leave for a bag of ice. And then, you about to start tweaking. You start clenching your teeth and you finna turn the hoe. You busting out your clothes. You busting out your shit. And the waiter run by and he bring you like a little bag of ice or a little cup of ice. You immediately get up out that hoe. You run, sit in the car and put your hand in that ice. Or you take your piece of ice and rub it on your chest and on your forehead. And I'm being dead ass with this one. And then you probably will stop tweaking. That's not a replacement for medication, but if this gonna be like a thing, you gotta regulate your nervous system a little bit. That's why you and your friends need to come up with like a wink or a handshake. My thing is, it's not a crime to have depression. It's not a crime to have depression. Or it's not a crime to be insecure. And a lot of times when shit goes sideways because somebody insecure, somebody depressed, everybody hurt, hurting somebody else. They got hurt, they hurting somebody else. And the problem is not being insecure. The problem is not having depression. It's not communicating it. The problem is always not communicating it. And usually there's a lack of compassion. There's a lack of compassion, but there's also like a lack of like, because it'd be one thing if this was like a child trying to communicate with like their two parents that they're going through something. But if y'all all about the same age, and even though this is your first time vacation, again, I'm really stepping on the best part of this. Not the friend part, but the best part. That means y'all close. Y'all all about the same age. And they know you diagnosed with bipolar. The baby girl, you diagnosed with bipolar. But at the same time, rub your little ice on your neck and chest. Come on with a secret handshake. Or something. Not the asshole. It sounds like you were doing your best to manage your symptoms, which I understand can be very difficult with someone with bipolar. Very true. I was actually diagnosed with bipolar type 2 several years ago, which is why I think this is it's not coming from a place of judgment. But also I feel like I'm gonna be real. I feel like the bipolar 2 diagnosis was wrong for me because I was tested for ADHD and autism late. Very late, way after the bipolar, and a lot of what was quote unquote bipolar meltdown, whatever, was an autistic overload. I was burnt out. Autistic forced to be in all these situations. Autistic people really don't thrive in. I'm gonna be real. Well, there's different types of autistic people who thrive in different situations, but I'd been forced to try to thrive in situations not really built to accommodate me. So I had burnout. And then a lot of time my depression was me shutting down and getting sad and hurt and overwhelmed because of autism. So it can be very difficult to be honest. I still don't know if the bipolar type 2 diagnosis was wrong. I feel like it was, because as soon as I started, changing my routine and changing my diet and changing like kind of sleep patterns and things I did, it became more manageable. Do I feel perfect and tippy top? No. But do I feel a lot better? Yes. I wanted to give your friends the benefit of the doubt too, that maybe they were just stressed out and didn't know how to handle it. True, because but until I read this, demanded I stop being depressed. If they literally told you to stop being depressed, then you deserve it. It said you said you are medicated and doing therapy, which is very good. Congratulations on those 2 steps. You're medicated and doing therapy. Wonderful. I would look into trying other medications or additional meds. They had me on several. I enjoyed none of them, but they had me on several. The side effects fucking suck. I don't know if you're on the I'm not gonna name any drug names, but I was on one where I couldn't sleep. It would make me sleepy, so I had to take mine at night. And I had I had 3. I had one for anxiety, one for bipolar, and I think one for something else. I had 3. But I had one where I would try to go to sleep at night, and I would be falling asleep, and my muscles would I don't know how to describe it. They would clench up, but not clench up. And they would fucking hurt. And I ended up losing, they would do that for hours. I couldn't sleep. I was just kind of locked into that state. And I would wake up less rested and less, so there are, different things you can do. And like I said, sometimes it's not even, and I'm not your doctor, but sometimes it's not bipolar. Sometimes it's autism and autistic burnout. And a lot of times it's free or very cheap to see if you have autism. For burnout, for me, what happened is once I know that I was just being overloaded by stimulus, I closed my eyes, got a piece of ice, put it on my chest, something I just focus on. No music, just because if I know that stimulus is my problem, I'm being stimulated by too many sights, sounds, and shit going on, and people talk, people couldn't talk to me. I was my eyes would zone out. So if you know that you're over, it's usually really cheap or free to sit down, close your eyes, no music. Or turn on some white noise, like a fan, or just go on YouTube and type on white noise or brown noise, and then hold a piece of ice to your chest. Focus on the ice while the white noise just plays. And Jesus Christ, that might actually do you very, very good, as opposed to a bunch of other shit. And again, I'm not your doctor, but I'm just saying. Ice is also good for people who are prone to self-harming too. I used to be one of them. I'm not saying hurt yourself, but it's squeeze a piece of ice and it's ooh, it's really cold. Or what I really like is when you're feeling overwhelmed, if you are a self-harmer or just you're feeling this crazy in general, turn on the shower really cold and then think about jumping in there. I'm serious. You're gonna be no, I don't want to do it. No, I don't want to do it. Let that cold water hit you. See how you feel afterwards. You're gonna feel fucking different. I bet you're gonna come out that whole different. But non-bipolar peeps can have a lack of empathy for us with this disorder. That is true. I think bipolar is largely misunderstood. People still think bipolar is having 2 personalities when it's not. It's not. It's like if you could take the weakest observation of bipolar, the weakest, most incorrect observation of bipolar, it's you got 2 personalities, you know what I mean? That's not what bipolar is. I still think bipolar is super linked to ADHD and autism, the dopamine, and that we're not getting into that though, because that's just a theory. Most of them don't understand because they don't go through it themselves. That's very accurate. Many people don't go through bipolar because they still think it's a 2 personality thing. But besides not going through it, there's lots of misinformation about it. They can have a low tolerance for our mood swings. Yeah. Not the asshole. You handled yourself well. Because it's someone's with a bipolar, autism, whatever. Any combination of conditions can be detrimental or disabling. They can be disabling. Especially if it's an invisible illness, because bipolar is often invisible. No one sees it until you freak out and start going ham, and then people are oh my fucking god, but then they're you're just choosing to be like that. But then it's just really, if you got bipolar, then it's a chemical imbalance. It's a straight up imbalance of shit. And short story, I remember like someone in my family was going through like menopause, like a hormonal shift, and they were going crazy. They were like eating different. They were like crazy. They were like, but it's just my hormones. And I'm like, AKA chemicals in your body. You know, you're eating different, moving different, feeling different because of chemicals in your body. You're changing. But this was the number one person in my family who like did not sympathize or empathize with like bipolar, depression, ADHD, autism, which is, you know, well, it's not as simple as just chemicals, but I guess like if we want to break it down, we can do that in another video. But it's just like, it's like you don't understand depression, which is also a chemical imbalance, but you understand when you have mood swings during menopause. It's different. No, I don't. I think the narratives are different. But it's like, and yeah, maybe the specific chemicals are different, but the overall like chemical imbalance factors there. But overall, I'm with OP. My thing is, if OP sticks with their two best friends, or if they get other best friends, whatever they do, come up with like a wink. Like, I'm still dead ass about that. I don't think anyone in this situation was the asshole. Well, no, because the fact that they demanded you stop being depressed when they know you were like depressed is fucking wild. You know, it's always people who say stuff like that who cry like the hardest at the funeral. They're like, just stop fucking being depressed, and then at the funeral they're like, oh my god, what can we have done? Like, it's fucking weird. But whether you stay with them or not, come up with a cigarette handshake or not, and don't do it because, you know, don't do it and feel burdened, as in like, oh, the person, you know, disabled by their, or maybe you don't feel, you know, or this person who's, you know, bearing the heavy burden of bipolar has to do yet another thing. I'm not saying it to make you feel like you need to carry the burden of like being understood in your relationship. I'm saying it because it'll help you. And people can help you better. Well, the people who care about you can help you better. You know, because you do the secret handshake and they're like, oh, get her a piece of ice, you know, or oh, you want to run some cold water on your neck? Like, they'll be able to say it when you're too frazzled or can't think it. Or, you know, or you do like your secret wink, like I'm tweaking out, and they get like a washcloth or a paper towel and they run it under cold water and they pop it on the back of your neck. You know, turn off the music, turn like they see you tweaking, they turn down the music and get you like a cold cloth and like a cold water to drink, or like a piece of ice to hold or something. Like, you do it because it gets you like more help, and it communicates without you having to communicate. Yeah, you know. So overall, OP, good luck to you. Give me a good one. What the hell? Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for going on a night out without my boyfriend and for posting a selfie with another man on my Snapchat story? Dog, I would go fucking wild. If I was a boyfriend and I saw my girl out, I'd bite the couch. Y'all can say I'm problematic. I don't care. I'd bite the shit out the couch. I would start howling at the moon. I would lose my, oh no, I'm just going out, babe. I don't need you. And then you posted pictures on Snap with another dude. Yeah, I start. Because here's the thing. Here's how I put it. Could he also do that? Could he look at you and say, babe, I'm going for a night out. You could, just chill at the crib. I'm going out. And then you see him pop up on Snap with a bad bitch. You see him pop up on Snap with a bad bitch, 40-inch hair, jet black, heels, calves, fresh BBL, and it looked good. It's sitting right for now until time set in. It's sitting right. Titties up, waist snatched, outfit on, ash jello. Titties look soft like pillow. Skin moisturized. Her lips look big and luscious. She got jewelry on. She real cute. She real done up. And you at home in sweatpants, right? And ain't nothing wrong with sweatpants. I'm just saying. He go out. He pop up on Snap with a Pillsbury dough girl. Just double baked buns in the back. Like she on the Snap. How'd you fucking feel? Yeah, I bet you start howling at the moon too. So I'm just saying, I don't know. Am I the asshole? My boyfriend and I had been planning to go out to a few pubs together with some of our mutual friends. But on the day of, my boyfriend decided to stay home with his friends to play video games. Oh, so it's on him. He'd rather be with the boys on Valorant. He'd rather be with the boys on FIFA. I offered to play with him, but he told me that he didn't want to waste lots of time teaching me to play. Waste? You should have showed up with 2 dudes. You should have showed up with 4 dudes. You should have showed up with like 8 dudes. So I decided to go on the night anyway with my friends. He sounds like a nut. That night, I took multiple selfies with my friends and posted them on my story. This included a male friend who is gay. He don't gotta know that baby girl because he said he don't want to waste time. Well, fine, somebody will. The next day, my boyfriend got really angry at me. He said it was bad enough that I'd gone on a night out, let alone the fact that I was posing with another guy. First of all, you guys had both planned for a while, and then he last minute decided he'd rather stay home and play video games. So that's what he wanted, to play video games. And then you said, well, I'll play with you, I'll stay with you. And he said he shut it down. You shut it down. He made 2 decisions that let you know he did not want to spend time with you. He made 2 decisions that let you know he did not want to spend time with you. Y'all been planning, and then he's like, nah, I'd rather stay inside and play video games, which, you know, is valid, you know, but that's your damn girl. Like, you know, your girl bad, and you gonna let her just go out the house like that? Shit, couldn't be me. You know, your girl bad, and you just like, yeah, well, shit, I'd rather play FIFA with the boys. You know, what kind of top the boys giving? Because he letting his girl out the house at the damn, what they said, pubs. Yeah, I'd rather be on Valorant. What is they saying to him in his mic, in his ear? What's they whispering to him that got him rather listening to them than you? Oh my god, what is they on? Anyways, he made 2 decisions to let you know he didn't want to go out with you. I'm assuming you were all dressed up when he told you he'd rather stay home to play video games. That was decision 1 that let you know he did not want to go out with you. I offered to play with him, and after you got all dressed up, I'm assuming, he told me he didn't want to waste time teaching me. That's decision number 2 that let you know that he about to fumble a bad bitch. He don't want a bad bitch. You went out, you know? I have mixed feelings. I feel confused because my boyfriend initially said he was fine with me going out. It was only the next morning that he expressed any unhappiness about it because he saw that you have fun. He wanted you to go out and be kind of like frumpy and dumpy. He didn't like that you used to call me on my cell phone. He wanted you to go out and be like kind of frumpy, like decent, do that weird kind of smile where you kind of want to cry. You kind of got a shit. It's too hot. You kind of want to go home and it's like muggy out. And you just kind of like, standing kind of sideways with your toes like gripping the edge of your shoes and like that little strap digging into your like shit too much, like your ankle too much. And your bra kind of uncomfortable and the straps is uneven. So one titty up, one titty down, you know, piece up, 8 down. And you just kind of like, you look kind of sweaty, like your lace front kind of sliding to the back a little bit. He wanted you to be kind of like frumpy, and he wanted you to go out and be frumpy and thumpy. But you went out and you was fucking bad as shit. And he was just like, actually, I didn't expect it to go like that. And yes, my guy friend is gay, but he has been my friend for 5 years, and he's gay. I also feel guilty though. Why? I did go out without him, and I feel like I unintentionally flaunted it by posting my story. You didn't flaunt that you went out. You said you were going to go out. You planned that you were going to go out. You just kind of did your shit. Here's my thing. He didn't want to, you know, stop playing with his boys long enough to waste time teaching you how to play. He didn't want to, but he could stop to look at your Snapchat. He could waste time looking at Snapchat, but he couldn't waste time teaching you how to play. Sounds like you were a bad bitch, and I'm banging the gavel. You actually might win. Just kind of you in the best position out of anybody. Give me a good one. Give me a good one. Everyone's talking about weddings. Am I the asshole for not shaving my legs? No, you shouldn't shave your legs. It's a little extra coat, a little extra. Am I the asshole for not shaving my legs? My husband 26, and I, 25, have been together for over 6 years. We first met in the military, and our relationship was just supposed to be a fling, but we caught feelings, and we ended up getting married a while later. We've had some issues, but we've been pretty good otherwise. Yesterday, I went out with a friend, and it was really warm, so I wore shorts. When my husband came home and saw I went out in shorts, he sat me down to talk about how it really bothers him that I went out in public with unshaved legs. Your husband mad because you had this... Look, your husband mad because you had this Sasquatch 12s on. He said, well, boy, what the hell? Ain't nothing wrong with having hairy legs. Shit. So we'll tell him if he got a problem with it, he needs to shave his legs. Make it even. It's important to note that he has a body hair insecurity because he is pretty hairy and was teased a lot growing up. I hate shaving because I don't like stubble and I always get razor bumps. Nair, baby girl, nair. I mean, you don't got to do any shit you don't want to do. My legs are not shaved right now. And I like my leg hair. It's soft and makes me feel more confident in my body. Baby girl, she got pants on. She may be wearing shorts, but she got pants on. He offered to pay for laser hair removal, but I think it's ridiculous that this is such a big issue. We're both really stubborn, so this might even split us up. I'm having my own issue trying to figure out what I want with my life and if I'm non-binary or something. But he wants me to be more feminine and a traditional woman. But I don't want that. We've just grown in opposite directions, so it might be better to just go our separate ways now. But I really do love him. My leg hair, it's totally natural, just like his leg hair. I don't want to compromise my views just to appease him. Am I the asshole? So you guys have been married for 6 years, and no time before marriage or during have you sat down and talk about like your leg hair and like any of this? I'm just assuming like all the time dating and like any of those 6 years you just never like just really kind of laid it out like this. Here's the thing, if he's your husband and he really loves you and you're like non-binary, then, or even if you weren't non-binary, even if you just wanted hairy legs in general, the good old fuzzy socks you can't really take off, even if you just wanted that shit, if he loves you, he'll respect it and decide what to do from there. It doesn't mean he's got to force himself to like your hairy legs or force you to shave your legs. He doesn't force you to do anything or force himself to just be real. If he's like, you know what, well, I can't really do the hairy legs, and you're like y'all are married, like y'all should be able to have this conversation. Like no one's the asshole. You're not an asshole for wanting to grow out your leg hair. He's not an asshole because you said he grew up with insecurities. But if y'all are like married, y'all are gonna have more real conversations than some leg hair, I'll tell you that. Not the asshole. You're doing the right thing by not compromising on something you feel confident about. But he's also allowed to find hairy legs less attractive. Sounds like an incompatibility issue to me, and that is very true. He's allowed to fight, if he likes a feminine woman with non-hairy legs, and and no one said shaved legs were particularly feminine. Like, these are all like recent concepts, by the way. But if he wants to be with a woman with shaved legs, then he should be with a woman with shaved legs. And if you want to be with a partner who accepts you being non-binary with hairy legs, then that's your right too. Whatever makes you feel comfortable and loved, whatever. It doesn't sound like anybody's an asshole, but if y'all are married, y'all should be able to talk about it. Banging the gavel. Bring out the dancing lobster. Ooh. Was I being the asshole? Was I being the asshole for moving my altar to my friend's house after my mother told me not to because she doesn't want me to be mad at her? Girl, what? I, 15, male, am Greek pagan in an all-Christian household. Oh, but that's where you fucked up. Here's the thing, you can be whatever you want, but from growing up in a Christian household, if you don't know how to keep your shit private, that is lesson number one. In a Christian house, be whatever you want to be, but keep it private. And I hate that, we gotta live like that, but you know good and well what the fuck finna happen. Like, I hate to say it. Like, there was so much music I couldn't listen to, shows I couldn't watch, jewelry I couldn't wear, just harmless shit that was just like, good and well, shit. I have a very small altar in the bottom half of my wardrobe that I use for my practice, spells, reading, etc. Aww. During my dinner today, I stated I need more altars so I can give offerings to my deities. Why would you say that? Like, here's, even if it's true, here's the thing, I'm low-key with you. Like, I'm with you on this. OP, I'm with you on this. I'm with you. I'm on your team. I'm on your side, OP. Except for when you had your Christian family around the Christian dinner table with your little Christian meal, and you're like, I need more. It's like, but here's the thing, I sympathize with that feeling, because I was like, my family was like strict Christian, and I was like goth. Like, I wasn't just like, you know how when you're like other, or you don't want to be strict. I was like goth, so I was into that dark sided shit, right? And so, you know, you want to be you, and I hate to say it, but it's like I think kids do it without knowing, where they throw out things about themselves that they know that their family would hate. Like, my family hated like gay people. My family hated like people who dyed their hair. Like, you could be like just straight and like good. They hated people who dyed their hair and like bleached their hair. They hated people who wore too much makeup. They hated people with like nails, like everything they hated. And, you know, I want to do my nails and wear makeup. Also, I was just fucking goth and shit. So that was already a disappointment. But it's like, sometimes I think kids throw out shit that they know their families would hate. But it's just like, please accept me. Please love me. Like, and I think you got to get shown that lesson again, and again, growing up, that no, unfortunately, your family does not love you unconditionally. And, you know, might even have to look at, do they even love you at all sometimes? Like, shit, you know? And so you knew good and well your strict Christian family would not like that you're Greek pagan, and would not like that you have an altar with spells. I'm with you, OP. Like, I'm supporting you. And as a kid who's been there, you know, wearing the, you know, shit. We don't got to go into my history, but, you know, you throw shit out, you know good when your fucking family is going to hate that shit. You do. And you're just like, because why the fuck you at the, sorry, OP, I'm with you, OP, but why the fuck you at the dinner table talking about, I need more altars, I need to give more like, shit. Damn. My mother told me absolutely not, and that I'm lucky to have the one that I do, and that she has half the mind to not take a trash bag and throw away my altar. Yeah. Why would you say you have, like, if they're Christian, why would you say you have an altar? After I finished my dinner, I called my mom's friend to see if it was okay for me to move my altar to their house, because I no longer feel like it's safe in mine. She said yes. After I finished packing everything so that I can move it once I get the chance, me and my mother got into an argument about me keeping it. Well, tell her you're throwing it out and then take it to your friend's house. Telling me that she doesn't want it in the house, but she doesn't want it at my friend's house. Oh, it's just a control thing. It's not that she cares that the altar's in the house. It's a control thing. But they're also Christian, so... And again, I grew up Christian, so, you know, whatever. After going back and forth a bunch, she told me that I better keep it because she doesn't want me to be upset at her. What? Oh, it sounds like you guys got to a weird compromise that I did not expect. You got to a weird, strange compromise I did not expect. I was already shocked when she already knew about the altar. OP, just stop bragging about your altar. OP, don't brag about your altar. OP, don't brag. Like, OP, just have the altar. OP, just have the altar. Stop bragging about your altar. OP, just have the altar. And stop mentioning at the Christian dinner table. Like, it's not wrong to have an altar. It's not evil to have an altar. But if you know your mom does not like the altar, why are you going to talk about the altar? Shit. I know it's that thing. I feel like it's that thing kids do when they throw out shit about themselves that they really want their parents to accept and you know, partake in and enjoy with them, alongside them. Like, you know, when I was younger, I was in a bunch of like weirdo shit, because I was goth. I was like straight up goth, like not like that real weirdo shit, right? And I knew good well my parents, they didn't even want a glimpse, because it was what the fuck city. It was what the fuck city. I mean, not like evil shit. I'm talking about like goth to the level that if someone's unfamiliar, they're like, this looks very wild. Not like evil, like I was never like a gore person, but we're not getting into that. I was never like I hate that shit. I was just kind of like, you know, And you kind of throw out little Easter eggs about you. Also, you know, you're not the asshole, and your mom is strangely not the asshole in a weird way, because she already knew about it and she let you have it, which is crazy for a Christian household. It's wild. She already knew about it and she let you have it, which is crazy. It's cool, in fact, a little bit. She got like some points a little bit. But then she argued with you like she wanted you to throw it away. She's like, get rid of that shit. I don't want to fucking see that shit. And then you're like, okay, well, I'm getting rid of it. And then she was like, actually keep it. And it was just kind of like, shit. Like, it's like a win-win. Like, it's like the Olympus is up right now. Olympus is up right now, my G. Like, Olympus is going crazy right now. It looks like there is no asshole. The mom's somehow very cool. OP. I'm the oracle at Delphi, and Apollo says you're the ass. He's not. He's a 15-year-old kid. He's a 15-year-old kid, and I feel like he did that thing. Like, he knew they wouldn't like it, but I think kids do that thing where they're like desperate for their parents to like accept and like love them. So you say some shit or reveal some shit about yourself that you're hoping that, and they're just like, but the fact you should let him keep it. So I mean, we up. I guess we up. My dog, we up. Olympus is up. Olympus is all the way up. Let me see. Am I the asshole? Stop. Am I the asshole for calling the police to do a welfare check on my missing friend? Why would you be the asshole for that? My 21 female best friend and I went out to a few bars last night with my boyfriend and his friend. The plan was to crash at my boyfriend's house at the end of the night. Boyfriend was a dedicated driver. He was not a drunk driver. He was a dedicated driver. Shit. When the bar closed, my friend decided she wanted to go to an after party with people that she had met a few times at the bars. She wanted me to come. I declined, and I asked her to come back with us, as we had planned, because I didn't think it was safe. She insisted on going, so I ended up leaving. I texted her and made sure she was safe, and her last text at 3 a.m. was that she had safely arrived to the house. Fast forward, I woke up this afternoon, like 2 p.m., to text from her family asking if I knew where she was. They were unable to get a hold of her since her phone had died. I flipped out and called one of her other friends to see if she had her location. It was very unusual of her to stay out this late without calling. Her other friends and I drive to the location, drove all around the blocks, drove to the bar, called hospitals, called the police station to see if she was arrested, and called anyone she might have been with. We got no response for hours until we finally tracked down her car at a house for an after party. Oh, this story's getting on my fucking nerves. I'm about to tell you why it's getting on my fucking nerves. Problem was, she was nowhere at that house. Her wallet, everything was in her car, which was parked out front, but nobody was home. We knocked, yelled for her, got nothing. I called her mother, and we decided to call the non-emergency police number, since she had been gone for 12 hours at that point. We did this because she has never been missing past 9 a.m. without calling. Police came, found nothing in the house, and nothing at the location her friends had. Finally, after hours, she called her mom and said that her phone died. She had gone home with some man. She then texted me swearing at me for calling the police and telling me she wasn't going to speak to me again. I know she's embarrassed, so maybe I shouldn't have called. Oh, I'm not finishing this story. She got drunk as shit and people thought she was murdered. She's like, why are you on? Sorry, OP, I love you, but why are you online asking if you're the asshole? Everybody thought she got murdered. Everybody thought she got murdered. People thought she got murdered. Give me a good one. What? What is it? Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for not showering faster? Shit, stop. Me and my mom are on vacation in her country after 4 years of not going, so we are currently staying at my oldest cousin's house. Because of that, we're helping my aunt with most of the housework. We also provide money for groceries, electricity, and water bills. Like, she doesn't need to earn money while we're here. Now we do this on our own. We know she's struggling financially and mentally because she recently became a single mom of 3 children. She and her ex-husband divorced. Her eldest daughter was taken away from her, so she's left with 2 sons. However, she does things that my mom doesn't exactly like. Wait, who is this? Oh, her oldest cousin. Stop. Go back. However, she does things that my mom doesn't exactly like, but I won't mention it here because I don't think it's relevant. Since the country we live in is super hot and humid, my aunt would shower 3 times every day, morning, noon, and night. And to me, it's pretty much unhealthy. It would be reasonable if it's once or sometimes twice a day. She would also tell me her skin is super dry. She doesn't moisturize after her shower, and that her back is killing her. My mom tells me it's all because of showering too frequently, but me and my mom never said anything. Her life, her choice. I shower every other day. Stop. Scroll on. And I take a shower 1 hour or less. It depends. Sometimes more than 1 hour by a few minutes. First, I double condition my hair. I can skip all that. Since I always shower in the morning, I would also wash my face. Then I have a small towel that I use to clean my ears. And I exfoliate, I think they're my lips. Then I will start to clean my body. There are times when I only shower excluding my hair, and that would take 30 minutes or less. So maybe I'm just really slow at doing things. My mom always complains about it, but what can I do? I want to make sure my hair and scalp are clean, and so is my whole body. I take time to clean them really well, but no matter how much I try to be faster, I just can't. It always ends up around 45, 50, or 60 minutes. Yesterday, my cousin told me that I take a shower too long and that I'm wasting a lot of water. She also asked what am I even doing in the shower. I apologized and told her the same thing I wrote here, and also that she shouldn't be worrying since we're paying for the water bills. If you're paying for the water bills, then that's it. It's not like I'm wasting too much water. I often close it whenever I don't need it, like conditioning my hair or cleaning my body. She told me that it doesn't matter and that I should be more careful and to shower faster, that taking a shower that long isn't normal, and that I should save more water. And this is where I might be an asshole. I told her that her taking a shower 3 times a day wastes more water than I do, since I shower every other day. And she also takes a shower for 30 minutes, and if you calculate it, that would be 1 hour and 30 minutes a day. So why is she feeling offended of me taking a shower for 1? I was about to ask that. I'm like, if she takes a shower 3 times a day, how long is each shower? 10 minutes? Y'all should shake hands. Y'all should shake hands because y'all are taking the same length shower. No, actually you're taking less. If you shower every other day and you shower for an hour every other day, that's technically 30 minutes a day. You're showering less. You're showering less. You're the asshole. So you're telling me you think it's ridiculous your aunt feels the need to quickly wash her body 2 to 3 times, but you need to follow a 10-step routine. Damn, they got on the 10-step routine. They got on the 10-step routine. First I double condition my hair. Wait, she already said when she shuts off the water when she's not rinsing, or it was one of these where she said they need to shake hands. I feel like they're taking the same amount of shower. No matter how much I try to be fast, I just can't. Then you need to change your routine. Even the 30-minute fast showers are still excessive by most people's standards. To compare, I would maybe take 5 minutes to shower maximum. I know things are different for different people, but you're both taking the piss. Oh shit. Everybody's like speed demons. Everyone's like, a shower should be 10 minutes maximum. Speed demons. Shit. Shit. Look, they get on TV. Damn, they get. Here's the thing. I don't think anyone. Shit, she getting jumped. I don't think anyone's an asshole because that's why I said they need to shake hands. I don't think anyone's an asshole because I think they're doing like the same thing. Shit. Uh, why are you double conditioning your hair? Why don't you just deep condition it once? Look, stop. I'm not trying to jump you, OP. OP, I'm not jumping you. I'm not jumping you, OP. I'm really not. There is no sides. There is no sides because both of you are like doing the same thing, I feel like. Like she's taking 3 mini showers and you're taking like 1 big shower. They all add up to be like equal. PEMDAS. Banging the gavel, PEMDAS. They cancel out. Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for pestering a stranger for personal information? My 31 male oldest kid is my wife's biological son that I adopted. Last year, his school recommended he be assessed for a neurological disability. The process of finding a specialist that our insurance will work with has taken a long time. This specialist wants a lot of medical background information on our son. My wife only has her medical background information, which she has provided. The specialist said this isn't sufficient. I found her ex on Facebook and messaged him to ask for his family's medical history. I explained why. He immediately blocked me. Does he know who you are? When you at the time of you messaging him, does he know who you are? Because here's the thing. I feel like I explained why. Like, I get you said you explained why, but if you didn't do it, like... What do you mean by that? Because if someone's like, can you tell me your genetic history? I think I would block them too. I mean, or maybe he's worried it's a fake account trying to get his information. Maybe he's not sure if it's you. He immediately blocked me. I found his sister on Facebook after that and sent a similar request. Oh, now you just seem creepy. I mean, it's for a good reason, but you seem creepy as fuck. She said she would get me the information. We exchanged emails for this. I got an email from the guy telling me to stay away from him and his family or he'll sue me. I kind of get it. Like, here's the thing, it's for a good reason, but it feels kind of, y'all can't arrange like phone calls or like visits like Facebook. Yeah, I'm not disclosing like important, relevant genetic medical shit. Like, there is no asshole. Like, OP is not wrong for this, but shit, he probably used to getting scammed on Facebook. I get it. I told the guy I was just trying to find the information I needed, and if he wasn't willing to help me, I would explore other avenues. Now that sounds like a threat. Who's the guy who daughter got taken? He called me an entitled asshole and said I have no right to his personal information. He said scum like me are the lowest of the low. I have, however, continued to email his sister despite his objections. Am I the asshole here? Sure, it's his personal information, but it's my son's personal information too, and he needs it. I think it would be cool if the guy worked with you, but I feel like you came off as weird and creepy just a little bit. Like, you're not wrong, but I feel like you came off as weird and creepy. Because you're just kind of like, you didn't arrange like any official meeting, any Facebook, like, you didn't have, like, why didn't you get like an official doctor's note with like an official seal on it or something? Like, because if this is really about your son's life, then, you know, you're gonna want to do this kind of official, aren't you? You know, if somebody hit me on my Facebook talking about, tell me your blood type, baby girl, tell me your blood type and all your rare genetic conditions, I'd be weirded out. You know, not the asshole. Your wife really should have handled it. That's actually true. That actually might be true. Like, where is his wife? His wife knew the ex. Why did she not hit him up? Yeah, where's the wife? I really don't like that this is the top comment. It makes it seem like an adopted child is somehow less than a biological child. I know it wasn't intended, but it just feels that way. When it comes to anything to do with the child, each parent should have the exact same privilege. Just my 2 cents. Like, I get, like, yeah, I agree. But I do think, you know, if the dad didn't work, that's before contacting the sister, I would have sent in the mom. I mean, cause damn, they smashed. You know what I mean? They smashed. She got some of his genetic information. She can get some more. You know what I'm saying? Like, she physically got some genetic information to make the child. And if she want to hit him up on Facebook for a little message, she could get some more. You know? Not the asshole. However, he is not obligated to provide anything. I'm curious about the specialist. Have they never heard of adoption before? Yeah, it's like they didn't do further research. They're like, the only way we could figure out is if you message the ex on Facebook. This is kind of fucking weird. Like, there's no asshole in this story, but the most important question is, where is the wife? What is this? Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for teasing a child until I was yelled at by the parent? Yes, leave people's fucking kids alone. I think there's like this trend these days of like teenagers seeing children out in public and doing the best they can to scare them and make them cry. First of all, that's an innocent child. It's their job to be kind of goofy and doopy and like dumb a little bit. Leave people's fucking children alone. Yeah. Actually, if I was a parent, and you know, a kid's a kid, but if I saw some doopy fucking kid, you know, I don't want to be a parent ever, but if I saw some doopy fucking kid just bullying my baby child for being just a little ignorant baby child, like there's like, you know, they're just doing whatever babies do, and you're like some doopy teenager like, I fucking hate kids, so I'm gonna bully that one for no bitch. I'm fighting your mama. I was at a crawfish boil with my family and some friends. They live far away, so I don't get to visit often. A kid whom I haven't spoken to in a while, but am on good terms with, shows up and we start talking. We start teasing each other, as boys do. I was making short jokes because he's older than me, but much smaller. I thought it wasn't a huge deal. Because those jokes have been made to and around me all my life. The mom overhears us messing with each other and freaks out. She was screaming at me because I was taking shots at her son and being rude. And being a rude ass. Me being horrible at confrontation, I just sat there like, yes, ma'am, and sorry, ma'am. My mom ended up going and getting pissed at her. And a couple minutes later, she comes back as the family's driving away. Forgot to mention, but the kid had no issue with my joke, as he looked confused after and said we were kidding. My mom told me that she had started yelling on behalf of the kid, even though he had seemed no issue. Everyone is telling me that I was fine and it was inappropriate of them to do that, but I can't help but feel like an asshole for harassing the kid. So Reddit for my very first post. Wait a second. So you guys are friends. Why are you calling him for teasing a child? Why does the title make it sound like you're 13 and the person was like 6? So you're about the same age. And you and your friend maybe here's the thing. Because there were times I was having conversations with my friends that if you overheard it at the wrong time, you'd be like, what the fuck going on? Like, if you're just going in on your friend and then like your friend was not defending themselves, then yeah, I could kind of understand. Y'all could have cleared that up if y'all would just like, I know you're not good at conversation, but you could have been like, but we talk like this all the time. And then she kind of would have probably still been mad. But it depends, because if you're like short, and he's like never defending himself, and he just kind of sits there like, yeah, 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 and you're like short, you're older but short, and he's just kind of like, yeah, yeah, I can kind of understand why his mom would do that. So you might need to, I'm not saying you're wrong, OP, I don't think you were wrong, but I'm just saying you might need to, but he's fine with it, but you need to really pay attention, because there's been lots of people who were bullied on purpose or unintentionally bullied, and the responsible, but they're fine with it. You know, there's lots of people who like say racist shit to their friend all day, and they're like, but he's fine with it. And it's just like, no, you're building half the time you're building or enforcing an insecurity in a child, and while you're just having, you know, childish fun, the other child is learning to be quiet. And a lot of times, or they do like that nervous laugh, like ha 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 ha, because you know you're not good with confrontation. I'm not saying this is what's happening, but I'm saying it is what happens sometimes, and this might have been what the mom was thinking. So you guys got to sit down and talk about it. You're like, well, that's not what I intended. Because if you're just like going in on this kid and he's just like, haha, yeah, you know, ha 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 ha, it's fine, it's cool. Like there's been a lot of time where people were called ugly, you know, fat, were made fun of, were like destroyed. And instead of crying or making a sad face and offending something, they learn to kind of do the neutral, like, haha, yeah. I mean, it doesn't bother me. But it's a complex and the child is being like hurt, but they're like, no, it's okay. It doesn't bother me. This, you know. And so just because someone's like, haha, yeah, and no, I'm fine. It don't bother me. Yeah, they're too sensitive. It doesn't bother me. Like often the kid saying that is the one who's most hurt, and they're training themselves not to feel hurt, which is never healthy. So even if you guys were like friends on like a one-on-one thing, now you guys could be on equal footing, and maybe the mom just does not like, you know, your jokes. Maybe the mom just doesn't like your jokes, and you guys are on equal footing. But depending on your dynamic, it doesn't matter if he always says he's fine with it. You got to really sit down and look. And again, OP, you're not wrong. Like you're not in trouble. You're not wrong. You're not bad. But I'm just saying, sit down and look, because if you know for certain that you and your friend are on equal footing, and that you're not exploiting, even if you did it unintentionally, it could be unintentional. So, you know, no hard feelings, but even if you're unintentionally exploiting someone's, you know, perceived shortcomings or like complexes, but listen, I thought it wasn't a huge deal because those jokes have been made to and around me all my life. Like OP, sometimes you really have to do and sit down and think about the fact that just because a joke does not hurt you doesn't mean that it shouldn't hurt anyone else. And again, you're not in trouble because he might be cool with it, but I'm just saying, well, you know, it never bothered me. Cool. Some people have certain food allergies, and peanuts don't bother some people, and then peanuts kill other people. So, you know, and you know, when it comes to like complexes and emotional situations and like interacting with other people, you do have to kind of respect things that might bother people, because there's a lot of people who are like, well, that shit doesn't bother me and it shouldn't bother you. And then you have kids swallowing down like pain, and they're like, no, I'm fine, it doesn't bother me, because they then feel like they don't want to be insulted or called out for a certain trait or made, or you know, well, you know, fat jokes never bothered me, so I can call you fat. And then that person's hurt, but they won't allow themselves to be hurt, because they're like, well, it doesn't bother them, and well, they're picking on me for being fat, and it doesn't hurt me. It's I'm fine with it. Y'all are too sensitive. You know, they go home and sniffle and cry, and it's just like, OP, you're 13, so you're like a kid. But before you get any older, sit down and I would just consider, is your friend, talk to your friend. Are you really, you know, because a lot of kids do this. Well, and I've heard that shit too much. And then unfortunately, a lot of kids get into their like 20s and older 20s. And then they're like, finally, for the first time in nearly 3 decades or even 4 decades years old, they can sit down and admit, well, actually, that shit kind of did hurt. Because they bury it for so long because other people, you know. So OP, really sit down and think about, just because those jokes have been made to you, and you don't care about it, it does not give you a pass or a blank check to make those jokes at other people. I'm serious. You know, if someone calls you stupid and you're like, well, I'm fine, it doesn't hurt me, it does not automatically write you a blank check to call other people stupid. Because some people might not like that. Well, why are you mad? And I'm not. Like I said, the same thing with peanuts. Peanuts are essentially harmless. I can eat some peanuts, but peanuts will kill someone else if they have just one. Well, why? They don't bother me. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? And OP, like I said, who knows what the conversation sounded like from the mother's perspective, especially if you were just going in on the fucking kid and they were just like, yeah, haha, you know, not defending themselves, not going back. Or, you know, if you guys are on good terms and it wasn't like that at all, then yeah, the mom exploding was wrong. But it's one of those stories that needs more context and more information, and I feel like no one's wrong. It's like, you got a 13-year-old kid, ignorant, not really bad. The title is very misleading. Am I the asshole for teasing a child? Then you would both be children. You would both be children. Or I thought it was a 13-year-old picking on a damn 6-year-old. I was in here ready for the shit going, if your damn mommy and daddy don't come snatch you up. But I feel like this is one of those moments where every party needs to reflect. You, OP, need to reflect, not because you're in trouble, but to learn to think deeper about things. So you got maybe you need to talk with your mom. Maybe you need to also talk with your friend. Maybe you need to also clear things up with your friend's mom. Like, really sit down and unpack it. And really, I don't really give a fuck what the other comments say, because I feel like there is more information that is needed, and I'm afraid that people are jumping to take sides and go, no, you're an innocent kid and the parent blowing up was wrong. Because I feel like anyone who has been bullied in any capacity and has been able to heal to a certain extent and then look back at it from like an older perspective and kind of pick apart the situation, everybody's reactions and things like that, I feel like you understand that this is a bit more complex than it may appear on the surface. Oh, crazy mom just started yelling and all, I was making jokes he was cool with it. Crazy mom started yelling. Like, okay, that's what the story sounds like, but it's also a 13-year-old telling it, you know what I mean? And I'm not trying to discredit kids, but the 13-year-old boy who was, joking with one of his friends telling the story about how explosive, like, we have no other details. And OP, you're not bad. I don't really know what's going on, but it's one of those situations I would encourage everyone to kind of look at deeper. And again, I'm not saying that the situation is that OP is making fun of or exploiting their friend's complex. I'm saying that it could be happening. And yeah, I can understand why a parent would want to protect their child. The woman blowing up without trying to clear up the situation, I would say, is wrong. But, I'm in a good title. Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for telling my husband I do not believe him regarding buying me flowers? Well, baby girl, if he said he bought you flowers and there are no flowers, then you know what time it is. Okay, this is not a relationship subtopic. Throwaway account, the usual disclaimer. Anyways, so Thursday, husband and I, late 40s, were chatting in family chat just about when he would get home from work. He said he would pick something up, and I jokingly asked, "Oh, flowers? I am so lucky, like winning the lottery if he buys me flowers, if it is not an anniversary or my birthday." I'm gonna tell you right now, I see this a lot where girlfriends and wives and people are like, "Oh, I would love getting more flowers," and then they kind of like wink, hint at their husband. Like, if you're married or dating this person, I feel like you should be comfortable enough to sit there and say, well, can you start getting me more flowers? Can you start surprising me with flowers more often? And I get that takes a little bit of the surprise away from it if you have to tell someone. But again, if you're married or dating someone, I feel like you should be able to communicate that you would like, because you got two choices. If you want more flowers, you got two choices. Present that desire to the person you are with, or break up with the existing person and date someone who will do it and continue to do it. You only got two choices if you want the flowers, unless you take Route 3 and buy them yourself. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm being like, no one, you can't hint, wink, wink, wink your way into more flowers. Ask at your shit. OP. I'm not begging. Hell, my money is his and vice versa. So yeah, I can buy my own, and he and I would have paid halfway. But the gesture, the thought, and that's the point. The point is not the money it costs. The point is that you want someone to care about you and love you enough that when they're just going about their day, they see some flowers, they see something, and they love you so much that they think of you and like, these flowers are beautiful. You know who would like them? My significant other. You want the thought. You don't care about the money. You want the thought. You want it's not about being materialistic. Like, give me flowers, give me chocolate, give me gifts. It's about someone's out and about. Hey, I went to the grocery store. I'm picking up some groceries for dinner. It's like, okay. And then They get home and, hey, while I was in the store, I saw this food you really liked. And because I love you so much, it warmed my heart at the idea of you eating this. That's what you want. Or same with jewelry or clothes or art, anything, especially with flowers. It's not about the flowers. It's about someone thinking about you so much that, hey, I got you this trinket, this thing you would like. You guys, if you're dating or married to somebody, you should be able to sit down and present this idea. If you cannot present this simple, straightforward, basic idea, I do not think you should be dating them, let alone married to them. And I'm serious. It's like this. You know how they say, test if you can say no to someone? Like when someone asks you to do something and you say, oh, no, I can't do it right now. Do they blow up? Do they start, beating you up? Do they start hurting you? Can they take no? If you can't even say no, like if somebody's like, it's, you know what I mean? Don't be like trying to be a villain and say no to something like super, super evil, but if it's like an everyday, like, no, or no, thank you. Like, you don't got to be weird about it. Don't be fucking weird about it. Cause if you're being weird about it, then yeah, they're probably going to think you're weird. But if you're just like, no, like if they can't take you saying no, if they can't take you, and don't say no all the time, because I get fed the fuck up with that shit. If you say no all the day, well, shit. Well, if you can't present the idea that you want trinkets and you want to be shown a little bit more, appreciation to them without worrying that they're going to break up with you or fly off the handle or not want to do it or feel like it's too much, then why are you dating them or married to them? And that's a real question. Well, they're nice otherwise. And are you not comfortable enough with presenting that idea to them? And OP, again, this is not on you, but shit. For the last 12 years or so, every time, like once a year, maybe I've hinted or joked about this is what happens. Well, stop hinting and joking and ask for them. Like, I'm not mad, but I'm just like, I still don't understand why so many like people do this. If you want a man or person you're married to or dating to give you more flowers, suggest it to them. Hey, can you surprise me with flowers more often? I think it would really make me happy. But people don't want to have to say that. I get it. So your only two options are suggest it to the person you are already with, or break up with them and get with someone who is that type of person. You got to be willing to look for them first for a while. You got to pick one. I almost don't even want to finish the story. I almost don't want to. Oh, this is the husband. Oh, I really wanted to surprise you today, but now it will not be a surprise. So no. Oh, he just don't want to buy them damn flowers. He don't want to buy them damn flowers. And here's the thing: if you're married to somebody or date somebody and you don't want to surprise them and you don't love them a lot, then shit. He said Thursday that he would buy me some Friday, but he forgot surprise. But this is not what makes me mad or sad. We had an argument. I told him that it makes me sad that every time I mention flowers, he comes with an auto response. I told him to stop that because it just makes me feel like the bad person for asking. So instead, just laugh or joke about it, but stop telling me I ruined the surprise because I do not believe him. He kept telling me I was just unlucky and have been every time. Bitch, ain't no fucking way. Every time you suggest flowers, he's like, shit, you got me. I was gonna get you fucking flowers, but I didn't do it. Crazy. He don't want to buy you them flowers. Look, it's weird. He don't want to buy them damn flowers. You're not getting the damn flowers from him. You're not getting the damn flowers from him. He don't want to buy the damn flowers for you. And you hitting and joking and being unable to say it. Y'all don't need to be fucking married. You don't need to be fucking married. You don't need to be married if you can't just ask him for some flowers. I know you want to be a surprise. We already talked about that. You don't need to be married if you can't just ask him. And he is not buying you the damn flowers. He don't want to buy you the damn flowers. He do not fucking want to. He kept telling me I was just unlucky and have been every time. And I called BS. Told him if I was so on point about him wanting to surprise me with flowers, I would have won the lottery every year. He got angry that I do not trust him, saying that he is lying, and told me I lied a lot of times and went for the couch. Am I the asshole for not believing him? I want to know. Am I the asshole for telling my husband I do not trust him when he says he would have bought me flowers if I had not asked? No, because he didn't want to buy you no flowers. Why are we in this thread? You knew the shit. He's done it multiple times. The first time he said that shit, he didn't want to buy you the flowers. Why are we in this thread? Shit. Not the asshole is full of BS. Why do the flowers have to be surprised for you to get them? I mean, we kind of went through that. He was going to buy them, but then you knew he was getting them so he could no longer buy them. The husband left this The husband left this response. He was not going to buy them damn flowers because he never bought them before. And when he kind of picked up that she wanted the flowers, then he definitely didn't buy them. Because he don't want to. That makes no sense. Of course he's lying. He was never going to buy you flowers or anything else. Yeah, he could have easily done it, but he didn't. He don't want to buy you flowers. Like, and I don't mean that in the mean way. I mean that in like the straight up way. You asked every year, why is he expecting you to believe he would finally buy it? He don't want to buy you the flowers, but y'all don't need to be married if you're not in a comfortable enough position to just ask for it. Because shit, when you're dating someone or married to somebody, you will have to communicate to a certain level. Because some people are like, because I can already hear it, like, well, why should you have to communicate to your significant other that would need to be surprised with flowers? Because people are different. Some people's language, love language is words of affirmation. Some people's love language is gift giving. Some people's love language is this or that. Some people grew up in households where their mom hated flowers and had allergies, so it does not become their first thought to buy flowers for their significant other. And it's not because they hate you, it's because it was not regular to them. Some people grew up with moms who did not eat chocolate, so they didn't grow up saying their mom's getting chocolate. So when they date, it's almost like it's not a thing, and so that's why sometimes you do have to communicate to an extent and not try to mind, if my partner loved me, they would do this. You have no idea how people grew up. And I'm not on the husband's side, because the husband's fucking insane. For that shit. Acting like you got not a sixth sense, but like a negative third sense, like you knew exactly when I wasn't gonna get them. Weird shit. But it's just like you never knew how people grew up. So you can't, you should be able to. And I feel like if just like it's immature for the husband to be like, no, like fighting so hard not to just get you the flowers. I feel like it is a little bit immature when people are like, well, why should I have to ask my significant other to get me flowers or chocolate? Why should I have to directly communicate a need or want to my partner? Like, well, why should you? I'm not saying Ophi is like that, but it's like, I don't know why people do the hinting, wink, wink, nudge, nudge thing so much, especially when they're like supposed to be in love with this person. What? Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for not caring about my sister getting engaged to her new girlfriend she met 3 months ago during Pride Month? I, 30 female, and my sister, 32, never had a close bond. We coexisted and did our own thing growing up. Let's just say if we weren't sisters, we wouldn't be friends. My sister was engaged to her baby daddy number 2 for 2 years. He's not the most dependable partner, but was a good co-parent. To be honest, he paid more attention to my niece and nephew, who's not even his. My sister started a new job, and that's where she met this female coworker who gave my sister the butterflies and had a little affair a month before she officially broke it off with my niece's dad. What gave me the ick was my sister having her new girlfriend pick up my nephew from school 2 days after the breakup. Shit, somebody gotta pick up the baby. Damn. I gave her my opinion on that. I mean, but if y'all haven't known each other long, I don't know if I would have like a stranger picking up my damn kids, but shit, somebody gotta pick up the baby. I gave her my opinion on that and how soon she's playing house with a stranger she doesn't know. Yeah. Let alone trust someone with her child alone. Yeah. She doesn't seem anything wrong with it and claims she's the love of her life. I'm not gonna lie, like a lot of people be like suspicious of these men. Trust me, I am too. Suspicious of a lot of these fucking dudes out here. But they think like every woman is automatically safer. I would not say shit. You gotta be suspicious of all these people out here. Not just these dudes, but these women too. In May, my husband, our kids, and I drove down to Texas for my father-in-law's son passing. Oh, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, it was not intentional. I can't say it on here, but it's the opposite of not. Girl, what? Oh, shit. Her father-in-law's sudden passing. It was intentional? Shit, yo, damn, you need to get off your sister's case and be trying to crack this one open. What the fuck? You need to be trying to crack that one open. It's Pride Month. We need to be Scooby-Doo. I'm low-key not joking, but it's like I get the shit with her sister's fucked up. This is some wild as fuck shit. Why is you not on this? While we stayed at my sister's house for a total of 2 weeks, and for half of the trip, my husband stayed with his mom to comfort her and overall be there for her during those difficult times. My 3 kids and I stayed with my sister. With everything going on, I was happy to spend time with my sister and our kids. And honestly, I thought my big sister was going to be my rock. Unfortunately, for the first week, we probably spoke for a max of 1 hour. She was too busy being high in love with her new girl. Wait a fucking second. I and my sister never had a close bond. We coexisted and did our own thing growing up. Let's just say if we weren't sisters, we wouldn't be friends. I was happy to spend time with our sister and our kids, and honestly, I thought my big sister was going to be my rock. 1, 2, 3, I'll say 4 paragraphs between, yeah, we don't really know each other, we don't really fuck with each other like that, we ain't really into that. 4 paragraphs happen, and then suddenly this is your rock and this is the person you want to spend time, like, you know, it's like we just coexisted, we just did our thing, we wouldn't be friends. And then what is this one? You know, unfortunately, for the first week, we probably spoke a max of 1 hour. Do you not like her and not want to talk to her and just coexist? Or are you tight with your sister or not? Do you like... OP, do you like your sister or not? Because I don't know how the story is trying to go. So I think she's trying to say that she was not close with her sister, and then recently they're like close or something. But I will say she did not add at the beginning of this first paragraph that they have repaired their bond. Like, she was just like, yeah, if we weren't sisters, it wouldn't even be cool like that. But anyways, we grew out of that. Like, she didn't add that on. She's just like, nah, dog. And now she's like, well, we didn't get to, like, this is another OP's being weird. Her girlfriend invited me for a drink so I could get to know her, but I was not in the mood to meet new people, nor was it the right time. That is true. Like, shit's going down. I'm not trying to clink cocktails. Shit, I might need a drink though. I explained to her girlfriend that the timing is bad and I haven't had a chance to have a simple conversation with my own sister. This is weird because, like, I get that this situation would like bring you together and that you want to talk to your sister, but you made it seem like you don't fuck with her, but now you're like trying to like fuck with her, but just like you didn't fuck. You're like, I don't like my sister, and now it's just like, damn, we couldn't even talk or hang up, but I thought you didn't like her. I suppose she told my sister, since that was the first night my sister sat next to me and held a conversation with me. It was mostly about how in love she is and understands how crazy it looks. Yeah, it might look a little fucking crazy. The entire time I sat there, I helped my sister with my niece and nephew. I tried to talk to her regarding what my nephew told my daughter. He said, I miss David. I hope he comes back. She didn't want to hear it nor care to talk about it. Who is David? Is David the baby daddy number 2? What is it? Her sister was engaged to baby daddy number 2 for 2 years. I'm assuming that this is David. On my way back home, I was able to finally speak to her and told her how I felt. Shit. On my way back home, I was able to finally speak to her and told her how I felt and explain how selfish she was. Her reasoning why she wasn't there to support me, nor my kids. Girl, what? On my way home, I was able to finally speak to her and told her how I felt and explain how selfish she was. Her reasoning why she wasn't there to support me, nor my kids, because what we were going through was too traumatizing for her. I don't know what's going on. That comment alone made me feel disgusted by her. I understand the news is heartbreaking and uncomfortable, but he was my father-in-law. He was my kid's grandpa, and he was my husband's dad. To be honest, she was giggling and laughing the entire time I was there. I don't understand. We haven't spoken since, nor she attempted to reach out to me on my birthday. I am hurt, and that conversation changed how I view her. So am I the asshole for not caring that my sister got engaged to her new girlfriend she met 3 months ago? Getting engaged after 3 months is fucking wild, but y'all got so much shit going on. I don't even know what what do you mean? I still don't know how OP feels about this person. I don't even know. I came out of the story dizzy. I came out of this one dizzy. Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend I'm feeling insecure? The title is broad because I didn't want it to be too long, but I need to know if I'm the asshole. When my boyfriend and I watch TV, he's constantly talking about what other girls look like. Well, that's the end of the story. He will often say, we need to get you an outfit like that. And the outfit would be something I don't normally wear, and the girl's body type is always much different than mine. Anyways, I went out and bought some sexier clothes and tried them all on vacation and felt disgusted with my body. I shared with him how I was feeling and how sometimes it makes me feel like he wants me to dress a certain way when I don't look like those girls on TV. He got upset with me and said I'm blaming him for me feeling insecure. I don't think it's his fault I'm feeling insecure today, but I want him to know that it doesn't make me feel good when he says those things almost every time we watch TV. Am I the asshole? It feels like I am. No, you have insecurity. You probably had it before you started dating. OP, so I'm with you on this one. I'm with you on OP. I'm with you on this one, OP. I'm like with you on this one. Your boyfriend's the asshole because he knows you have an insecurity and he's constantly like exploiting it. Like he's constantly like sticking his finger. Like it's not a crime to have an insecurity. It's not a crime and it's not a shame to have an insecurity. And we in fact all have insecurities, you know what I mean? I think most of the time it is our bodies. Like, so we all got insecurities. I feel like a slug right now. I feel like a little slug right now. You know what I mean? And we joke to cope with it and stuff like that, but we all feel insecure. So it's not wrong of you to feel insecure, and it's not wrong of you to feel hurt, and it's not wrong of you to feel, down and out. I mean, we're with you. Your boyfriend is the asshole because he knows you have an insecurity, and in fact, he knows what you're insecure about. He knows exactly what you're insecure about, and he keeps pushing his finger in it. He knows it's your body. He knows it's your body and probably the way you dress and like things like that, which is why he has honed his technique into constantly getting a big handful of salt and punching it into your wound. If you haven't, and we need to get you an outfit. Like, who the fuck says that? When people start saying weird things that kind of sound like we need to get you an outfit, like, not you need to dress like that, or have you considered, it's no. And how does he dress, by the way? But he's just like, we need to get you an outfit. Like a weird ass sentence. And just in general, he knows you have an insecurity, and it's not a crime to have an insecurity, but I do think it is punishable by death by stoning. I'm joking, kind of, not really. To see someone, I always say the worst thing you could do is kick somebody while they're down. I say that's one of the worst things you could do, and maybe not the worst, but one of the worst things you can do, just as a sentient being living in a society with sentient other beings. I think one of the worst things you could ever do is kick somebody while they're down. So you see somebody with an insecurity and you know they have an insecurity, like an exact insecurity, and you're just like, you could taste it, like you sense it and you know it. I do think there are specific types of people who it's kind of delicious to them to kind of like see your insecurity like a big gaping wound, and they get a big hand of salt and they like punch it. They're like, oh, their body's their insecurities. What if I just said the most wild off the wall shit about it like all the time? Like, there's a type of person who gets a lot of flavor, and your boyfriend sounds like one of those people. So you are not the asshole. He's like doing it on purpose. He's like, he knows you don't like your shit, and he's just kind of like trying on purpose to make you feel bad. Banging the gavel, he's kind of fucking wild. What is this? Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for asking an older man to show me his ID before he could purchase beer and cigarettes? No, because it's your job. It's your, like, when you have like when you're like working as somebody's, because I worked as one of these before. When you worked as someone who like has to ID people, yeah, I think the general understanding is that you ID people who look of like a questionable age. Like, are you 21? Are you one of those, old looking young people or young looking old people? Let me see your ID. But really, I think in paper, the law is like you ID everyone. I think that's like in paper. you'd ID everyone, but like the like the law on the streets is that you like ID the questionable looking people, but the real law is you know, I'm not shit, you know. But so it's kind of like an in-between, I guess. It's kind of like an in-between where you just kind of like I end up IDing willy-nilly. Okay. So I used to ID like every, you know, I think I like try to ID everybody. If someone had like gray hair and was like fucking elderly, I don't think I ever did. But like a lot of people, yeah, there's a lot of people who were like clearly 40 or like 30, and I was like, yeah, let me see that shit. I mean, shit. Sometimes you just want to take a peek. You got that power. You got that power, and it doesn't take them long. Shit. When I was gonna go buy like substances for adults, I always had my ID ready. Regardless, I had my ID ready. And I feel like anyone who like is out and about or steps out the damn crib to buy some shit should have their ID ready. Shit, you know what time it is? What the fuck? You know, I don't know anyone who walks into, I'm just gonna give me a case of beer. I'm just gonna get, well, shit, you better have that ID ready just in case, boy. Also, you're not supposed to be driving without your license. I'm being real. So anytime somebody like showed up somewhere, or you're not supposed to leave your house without your license, because if something happens, you need to have it on you. You know, if you have to make a detour or you have to go to the hospital or something, you need to have your ID on you. I mean, shit, a lot of these people just in the streets willy-nilly, like, damn, shit, fuck. But I'm cool, you know, I'm cool about it, but I can't tell you how I'm cool about it, but I'm, you know, when I used to work, when I was behind the counter, you know, I was cool about it. No, let me tell you, there's a time like some kids started finessing me though. I was not cool with that shit. Someone clearly, you know, you got to make sure they're 21 or older. Kid gonna fucking put the shit on the counter, and I'm like, you looking at this full time? I'll give me your ID. And you know, someone might have a condition. They might have a condition when they look young. So you're like, well, shit, I might be proven wrong today. Start sweating. I'm gonna. I know you fucking don't. And so I looked at the kid. I said, well, I'll hold this stuff back until you go get it. If you really 21. One thing about me though, like a lot of these stuffs for like 21 and older is like poison. Like alcohol is just poison. You know, the effects of being drunk is just your body dealing with like alcohol is like a toxin. Getting drunk is the act of your body trying to handle a toxin. You black out because alcohol is literally like a toxin to your body, like it's poison, you know what I mean? Shit. And a lot of people don't want to classify it as poison because it's not like you take a sip and then die like you drank like an evil potion in a movie. Like alcohol is still like a poison. It's a lot of sugar, but it's a poison. You know, tobacco is also like like there's lots of poison in society, but somehow only cigarettes and alcohol are behind the be 21 plus. Well, other stuff too, other smokables, but you know, and I do have the thought sometimes that you know what, if somebody kid want to ingest poisons, it's probably not gonna be on my watch. You know what I mean? Like selling alcohol and like stuff to like, cause shit, I drink and other stuff, but this is like I'm not shit. I ain't selling no damn kids no shit. You gonna have to finesse somebody else. Cause it's not finna be me. This shit poison. I say as I take a hit. Anyways. I roll the windows down. I'm blowing out a bunch of smoke. This shit poison. I'm serious. The kid's gonna have to finesse somebody else. But older people, yeah, I used to ID older people sometimes. It's like a just because shit, you need to have your ID on you. You never know what might happen. Show me that shit. I just got a job as a part-time clerk at a convenience store. Since my store sells alcohol and tobacco products, we of course ask anyone who attempts to purchase any of those products for ID. A little bit about me: I believe strongly in following rules by the book, period, and not making exceptions unless I'm given a list of factors that would allow for one. Period, boss. Some people might call me a stickler, but I do this mainly because I don't want to get in trouble, as the consequences aren't worth it. That is true. Like, that is true, because like the fines for like selling to someone you don't need to sell to are like terrible. But at the same time, I was just mad as fuck. Kid trying to finesse me to him. Bitch, I'm sorry, don't call a child that. Get your ass out of the store. We'll say that though. Anyways, yesterday was my second day on the job. In walks a man whom I'm assuming is a middle-aged, based mainly on his thinning gray hair. Oh, baby girl, he was past middle-aged. Crypt keeper. He takes a 6-pack of beer out the cooler, then walks up to the counter and asks for a pack of cigarettes. I ask to see his ID. He tells me he doesn't need to show me his ID because he's clearly well over 21. I tell him that it doesn't matter. If he refuses to show me his ID, we will refuse to sell him those products. And that is within your right, because it's a law and we could get into serious trouble if we do so. That is within your right though. I mean, is it cool? Shit, who fucking cares? It's within your right to say that. He launches into a tirade about how he's been a regular customer for many years, knows the owner, and therefore doesn't have to show his ID. I tell him that while the owner might not ask for his ID because he's seen him so many times, the owner isn't here at the moment. And because I'm a new employee, I don't know who's a regular customer and who isn't. And that if he doesn't want to show me his ID, he's welcome to leave. I think this is real because one time we had this guy who was definitely not supposed to be like in the building. Like I could just tell. And he was like, I'm a regular. The manager knows me. I'm like, what's your name? And he kind of gives me a name. And I'm like, okay, anyways. And I didn't sell anything to him. And then my manager comes in like later that week. I don't know, whenever I had a shift with my manager. And I said, do you know a guy named, I don't know, Nick or Tony or whatever his name was? And I'm like, you see the camera? And we like go back to the day and check the camera. And they're like, I've never seen that guy. I've never seen that fucking guy before. And it's just like, anybody can just look at you and say, yeah, I know, I'm a regular. I know, like, anybody can just say that regardless of if they're regular or not. So what are you talking about? The guy sighs, pulls out his ID and hands it to me. It shows he's in his late 40s. I told you he's not middle-aged. He's in the crypt. I handed him back the ID, then grabbed the pack of cigarettes he asked for and handed it to him and told him that wasn't so bad, was it? He rolls his eyes but pays for everything and leaves. I made a mental note of the guy's name. I mean, you didn't have to throw in this. I'm gonna be real, sis. I'm gonna be real. You ain't have to throw in that shit. You didn't have to throw in that. Yeah, you didn't have to throw in that. That was too much. Later when the owner arrived, I told him about the guy, and the owner confirmed that he is a regular customer and that since he's seen him so many times, he doesn't feel it's necessary to ask to see his ID, but that I did the right thing. That is right. You did the right thing and it's well within your right to ask for ID. And I did the right thing by asking to see it. I think nothing of it and go about the rest of my day. When I got home, my parents asked how my day was, and I told them what happened. They told me that most stores have a policy that if the person appears under the age of 30, they ask to see ID. But if they look older, it's safe to assume that they are old enough to purchase the products. That's what I was saying when it was like the rule in the book, and then the rule kind of like on like. I mean, if they walk in looking decrepit, I think you kind of know. But at the same time, they think I overreacted. I mean, you didn't overreact. Because I already said my piece. Like, I'm shocked people still leave the fucking crib without they shit on them. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck you mean you drove down here with no lights? What if something happened? How hard is it to just put that shit in your pocket? I did leave the house without my credit card the other day. It was very fucked up. You live some, you learn some, though. But everything actually worked out better for me when that happened. Never be deterred by a mistake, because I was gonna go grocery shopping, and I left my card at the house. I couldn't get like Google Pay or whatever it was, Samsung Pay to work, and so I was like, shit. And then I got home, and a few days later I saw that there was I got like a 50% off coupon for groceries, so I got I think it was like a 40% off coupon. So I got about $50 worth of groceries for like $25. So that wouldn't have happened if I had remembered to take my card. So sometimes when bad things happen, good things happen. But otherwise, I don't know how people just leave, like, you know, you're going to buy cigarettes or alcohol or whatever, or you're going to work or something, and you just leave the crib without your shit. So that's on somebody. Everyone's always talking about weddings. Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for accidentally unleashing a dragon in Whiterun? Yes. Hey, fellow adventurers. Give me one. I recently had a wild encounter in Whiterun, and I can't help but wonder if I'm the asshole in this situation. So here's the story. I'm a skilled mage, dragonborn, and on a quest to save the world from the evil dragon Alduin. During my journey, I stopped by Whiterun for some supplies and heard a rumor about a secret shout hidden in Dragon's Reach. Naturally, I couldn't resist the temptation. The Jarl's court wizard, Farengar's secret fire, mentioned that the shout was locked in a cryptic language. Without thinking much, I decided to test out my newly learned Fus Ro Da shout to see if it unlocked the hidden power, but little did I know the consequences of my action. As I unleashed the shout, it echoed throughout the hall, and to my horror, the shout actually caused a chain reaction, resulting in a chain of events that released a dormant dragon beneath Whiterun. Oh. The beast wreaked havoc on the city, and guards and citizens were fighting for their lives. Now the question is, am I the asshole for accidentally causing this disaster? I mean, I was just trying to learn the shout, but my recklessness resulted in mayhem and destruction. Should I have tested it somewhere else, far away from the city? I know it's my responsibility as a dragonborn to protect the people of Skyrim, but my inexperience got the best of me. I tried my best to rectify the situation by slaying the dragon and assisting in the aftermath, but many still see me as the cause of chaos. So, Reddit, am I the asshole for carelessly unleashing a dragon in Whiterun, causing chaos and destruction? Should I have known better and taken my practice elsewhere? Your honest opinions are appreciated. TLDR, I, the Dragonborn, accidentally unleashed a dormant dragon in Whiterun while testing a shout. A city was thrown into chaos, and I wonder if I'm the asshole for not being more careful and causing destruction. Well, you could remedy this easy. First, you go to the market, get you a shit ton of wheels of cheese. In fact, you might need to hack your inventory so you could carry more fucking cheese. Get you a bunch of cheese and a bunch of heads of cabbages. You find you an empty field, let all them bitches go. And then, in fact, type in a little cheat to summon like 75 bears. And let's just kind of let them all duke it out, slipping and sliding all over the cheese and cabbages or whatever. And I think you got this, like, for real.